Chrysalis, Razor Claws, Arachnoid. It's more than a single wave of action figures. It's a prism of endless repaint possibilities. I am the reviewer. Follow me and ponder the question, what if the video game aliens look like they were in a movie? Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, posability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and if you enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube rigmarole. NECA just released a whole new wave of alien figures called What If, reimagining the Alien vs. Predator figures as if they were in a movie. Today, we're going to look at the whole shebang. Starting off the packaging, and we can see that they come in a nice new window box, mostly just a blue and white motif. Mostly. Pretty cool box art on one side, names and logo on the other, window at the top, credits on the bottom, here's the barcode for those who want it, and a short novel on the back. Normally I read these things, but if you don't mind, I think today I'm going to skip that. If you want to read about Razor Claws, pause here. For Arachnoid, pause here. And for Chrysalis, pause here. Compared to the Lantern boxes, which are clearly made for kids, these new NECA boxes are simply stated and definitely meant for the adult collector. That being said, I do think I would have benefited from a lighter color insert tray, just a little something to cut a silhouette. Even so, for packaging, I'm giving the new Aliens wave 1 whole point. Moving on to presentation, and they all stand at about 9 inches exactly. Starting off with the Razor Claws alien, and it's mostly reused from the Ultimate Alien Warrior. Obviously, the head's new, as are the dorsal tubes, which are longer and pointier. You can actually see right here where they glued an extra piece on to plug in that hole. Speaking of glued on pieces, he also has these extra hip bones. The tail is also different, as are the hip joints, which have been replaced with balls. He has new feet, and of course, living up to his name, he has new forearms as well as new deadlier claws. I really like this new head. It's a lot longer than a normal alien, and it has an almost squid-like shape. NECA also did a particularly good job at the skull underneath, and the bluish-green tint in the dome really adds something. The Arachnoid alien, on the other hand, shares a lot of body parts with the Ultimate Dog alien from Alien 3. Similar to the Razor Claws, he has some new dorsal tubes glued onto his back. These ones are a lot shorter and stumpier than we're used to seeing on an alien. The forearms, however, are from the Ultimate Warrior, and so are the tails. They also share the same feet. That being said, I'm not entirely sure where the calf is from, so that part might be new, but this head most definitely is. Similar to Razor Claws, NECA did a great job with the dome. Even for an alien, it's a lot more bug-like than we're used to seeing. I don't know, I just think it's really creepy. And speaking of new heads, here we have the Chrysalis alien. Just look at all the detail in that crown. The black wash and the glossiness really bring it out. It also kind of reminds me of one of those frog guiros. This figure shares the same body as the Alien Resurrection Warrior. Similar to the other ones, it has some new pieces glued over the dorsal horns, and of course the forearms are new. He and Razor Claws have the exact same tail. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the tail that comes with the dog alien. If you've seen my Marvel Legends reviews, you'll know that reuse doesn't really bother me as long as it makes sense. For alien figures in particular, I think it makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, I think it's kind of cool they were able to use 3 of their main bodies all in the same wave. It makes each creature stand out and have its own unique personality. For presentation, I'm giving this alien wave 1 whole point. Moving on to posability, and they all have pretty similar articulation. Razor Claw's head is on a ball joint and a disc hinge. Looks up that far, and he looks down that far. Little bit of side to side, but not much. Of course, his jaw's articulated, and you can pull the double jaw out. Swivel hinge at the shoulder. Instead of a bicep, you can swivel at the elbow, but it's also double jointed. His wrists have a swivel and a hinge, and he's also articulated at the finger. Diaphragm joint does all the things. Ball jointed hips, and similar to a McFarlane multiverse, I have a little bit of swivel at the ball. Double jointed knee, ankle hinges back, hinges forward, and pivots. He also has toeticulation, swivel at the tail, and a bendy wire. The Chrysalis alien is similar, except that all of his articulation is under here, up and down with the hinge, and his head turns side to side a lot easier. Again, he's got jaw articulation, and the inner jaw pulls out. Swivel hinge with the shoulder, again swivel at the elbow, and double jointed. We also get a swivel in the forearm, swivel in the wrist, hinge at the wrist, and finger articulation. No real up and down from the diaphragm joint, but definitely plenty of swivel. Again, ball jointed hips, little bit of swivel, double jointed knee, hinge, pivot, toe, swivel, and bend. And lastly, the Arachnoid. Up, down, side to side, jaws 1 and 2. He also has another joint at the base of the neck, swivel and hinge for the shoulder, swivel and double joint for the elbow, swivel at the forearm, swivel hinge for the hand, but no finger joint. Diaphragm joint, ball jointed hips, but not much range. He also doesn't have any thigh swivel, but he does have double jointed knees, toe articulation, and a hinge at the ankle. Not sure if he has ankle pivot because it's a little bit stiff and I don't want to push my luck, but again, he does have a swivel and a bend in the tail. I'm sure all of us have at least some articulation horror stories from NECA, so you can imagine how nervous I was taking these out of the box. But I gotta admit, they really surprised me. For posability, I'm giving this alien wave 1 whole point. Moving on to playability, and none of them come with any accessories, but the Chrysalis alien can do this. Seriously, this thing looks like what would happen if an alien punched at a Henrietta from Evil Dead. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of the movie From Beyond. Side note, I saw that movie when I was 7 years old, and I really should not have seen that movie when I was 7 years old. But playability is more than just accessories or telescoping heads. It's also about how well your figure plays with others. So here they are with the Ultimate Warrior from Aliens. As you can see, they all fit together very nicely. For a human comparison, here they are with Ripley and Newt from Aliens. You can really appreciate just how tall these figures are. For another Ripley, here she is from Alien 3. For some more Xenomorph-specific comparisons, here they are with the Alien Warrior from Lannard, the battle-damaged alien from Alien Resurrection by Hasbro, and a Warrior Alien by Kenner. For a relative size comparison, here they are with Pizza Spidey and Marvel Select. For a Razor Claw-specific comparison, here he is with Freddy Krueger and Lady Deathstrike. And lastly, here they are with Stealth Iron Man. These figures will go perfectly with most of your movie or video game aliens, and what they lack in accessories, they more than make up for in creep factor. For playability, I'm giving these aliens 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. I held off on buying the original versions because the video game style deco really didn't appeal to me, and I'm so glad that I did. Not only do these new movie style repaints look cooler, but they also went back and updated the articulation. These figures are first to Walmart and haven't even had their wide release, and yet I actually got mine on clearance. If you can find them on clearance, definitely go for it, but even if you can't, at $30 a pop, it definitely isn't game over. For price, I'm giving them 1 whole point for a grand total of 5 out of 5. Now, I hope you enjoyed this look at the new wave of alien figures. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, do me a favor and give it a like. While you're down there, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Going into this review, I was really digging Razor Claws, but by the end of it, I think that Chrysalis is the MVP of AVP. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.